So, good morning, all of you.
Good morning, sir.
Morning,
Good
sir.
morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Shanmukh sir, good morning.
Sir, good morning, sir.
Sir, is your projector on, sir? There?
Yes, sir. It is on, sir.
Okay, sir. Fine. Okay, then I want to show you something. Like you have been asking me about this infinite loop for loop. So this infinite loop, I will just show you how it will be. Actually, I thought of discussing it with you when I am teaching about the packages, different packages in Python, which are very important for us to deal with some problems. So for this, what I will do is that I will just show you how you can do it using iter tools. I have a package called iter tools in Python. Just I will show it with you. Okay. Is it visible? Okay. So these are the iter tools that you have. We have a package called iter. I is equal to 1 here, and I have used a for loop where I am using x and I am repeating it forever actually. So I am saying that x will be initialized to 1 and it is repeated continuously. So I am using this statement, for infinite looping. So every time I print I and increment I is equal to I plus 1, again the loop will be repeated and again it prints the new I and I is equal to I plus 1. I think in the downside you can see in the output that these values are repeated. Just now I have just cancelled it, otherwise it would have gone through infinite things. See, it has been iterating like 95,457, 458, 59. See, it is still iterating, but I have stopped it in the middle. Otherwise, it would have gone to infinite looping. So if you want infinite thing in for loop, you need to use this one. But if you want the infinite loop in while, you can go for while true. Can anybody answer me what is this while true? Why we use true for the infinite loop? What it does really mean? So for example, I do the same thing I and I is equal to I plus 1. So I guarantee that it will also be an infinite loop. And I want to just show you the previous while loop, how you used to do it. So I had initialization. So this is what initialization, and I will say something like I less than 10. What does this mean that I less than 10? That means we are starting with I is equal to 1 and we are going with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 because 9 is less than 10 and when I is 10 it will be false. So here what I am doing is the same thing I am doing, print I and I is equal to I plus 1 has been printed, right? So now tell me what condition, what data type it could be. If I am comparing something like I less than 10, what data type it could be? You can also answer. What output it will give, can you tell me? Can anybody tell me what output it will give?
Start from 1
1 to
to
10 numbers it will print.
Yes, of course, I am asking about the condition. What output this condition will give you as an answer?
True or false?
Yes, it is true or false. The reason is, I will just tell you, wait, I will open this one, Python 3, and you can see here, if I'm giving I is equal to 1 and I'm saying, okay, B is equal to I less than 10. Now the B will give you either true or false. So it's a Boolean value. For example, if I give B is equal to I greater than 10. So now B will give you false. So I think in this particular program, this condition will either return true or false. After I is incremented, it will check what the value will be. So for example, when I is equal to 1, when it checks, it will see it is true. So it goes inside print I, increment I. And then it again checks the condition whether I less than 10 or not. Yes, if it is I less than 10, it again returns true. If it is true, then again it enters into the while loop, prints I, and I is equal to I plus 1 incremented. And when finally I reaches to 10, this time this condition will return false. The reason is, in place of I, it will see 10 less than 10. 10 is not less than 10, 10 is equal to 10. So naturally what it will do, it will return false. So when it is false, it eliminates this loop condition and it comes out and gets to the other statements program. So this is how it is going on. Now take this above condition. Why it could be an infinite loop? In this above condition, you can see that every time I have forcibly implemented true. So in this sense, you can understand that I am asking it to consider there is no condition, but you consider only every time true. So for example, you take democracy, you have two-party system in the democracy or three-party or multiple party. So it's your choice on what party you will vote. That's you can keep. But if a dictator comes and says, you vote only for me and every time I am your president or the prime minister. So naturally, it will always be true that he is the only prime minister or the president. So there is no other condition. If that party wins, that person will be the president, or this party wins, this person will be the president. So we are enforcing something in the while loop that there is no condition, but only one statement that is true. So in this case, the computer always thinks that every time it sees true, every time it goes I plus 1. So it will go to infinite. It will go to in such a way that the entire memory will be filled and it will give a statement called abort. So this is a statement that gives you if your entire memory is filled. Sometimes you can see, if you can test it in your computers, you can have an infinite loop and see how much memory it will take. After maybe half an hour or sometime it will give a statement called abort and says that I cannot finish this. Let me test the same thing here in the Python visualizer. You will see what analysis it will give. I think it is very slow today. So it says my network is unstable. Okay, so let me check this one. Okay.
Sir did not initialize.
Yeah, yes, I'm sorry. Yes, I need to initialize it. So I is equal to 1. Okay. Yeah, have you seen this one? The red line mark which it is giving, it says that stopped after running 1000 steps. Please shorten your code since Python tutor is not designed to handle long running code. Have you understood what it has given? It says that your code is running infinite. So that means the print I and I is equal to I plus 1 are repeating more than 1000 times. And it has no memory of storing your particular values in its own memory. So it is saying that I cannot store your value in my memory and also I cannot run that much time. That is the reason I am aborting. One thing you can do, you can manually run like this. It will help you run like this completely. But you know what the Python tutor will do? Before you go on running this program, it will first test it automatically, whether this program runs or not. If it feels that this program is unable to run, it will give this type of message. If nothing is there, for example, if I have clearly given in this, it will not give this time, you see. So if I have said I less than 10, now I start to visualize it. So it has already run it and it has seen that this code is feasible. You know what is feasibility? Feasibility in the sense that you, for example, you take some requirement, whether it will be feasible or not, in the sense whether it can happen or not. So, for example, if I can say I will invent a car which cannot run on roads but fly on roads. At this particular moment, I think with our technology, the running on roads is only feasible, and without running on roads and flying on roads is not feasible. Feasible in the sense that sometimes that can happen, that can really help us to happen. So when you are saying true, I think it is not feasible. The sense is that you're talking about memory. If the entire memory is completely filled, no memory is left for you, I think it is somewhat not feasible. So have you remembered that in our childhood we have studied something like people can only remember 1000% at a time. So I had a joke in, I think in the movie Ragada something, where Nagarjuna tells to Brahmanandam, a comedian. So I had lot of relations with many people. If somebody dies, then only you will be included into the relationship. He says like that. So that means after 1000 people, we cannot store 1001 person also. So every time when we lose, when we forget some person, then only we can include some other person. This is scientifically proved actually. The same thing happens with the computer also. We can only include maybe 1 crore or 2 crore of value in our memory. We cannot go beyond that, and the memory is almost full by that time because all bytes and bits in your RAM is already filled. So in this case, you should be thinking that the infinite loop is not at all better. But if you use something like break, let me use a break here. So if I contain this one as true, and this time I use something like, what I say is, if I greater than, sorry, okay, I greater than 30, right? You're saying break. Now, can anybody tell me whether it is feasible or not, this program?
Feasible, sir.
Yes? Is it feasible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. The reason is, it is true, right? It is true. And every time I clearly has said here, when I execute this one, let me show you. This if condition is every time checked, whether I is greater than 30 or not. If I is not greater than 30, it will print I and increment I. Again, it comes to true. Yes, it enters because true always force the controller, the red line, to enter into its statements. Again, it checks whether I is greater than 30 or not. If I is not greater than 30, it comes out, prints I is equal to I plus 1. And by the time I is 31, so 31 is greater than 30, so it will go inside the if condition and sees the break statement is there. So it will immediately break out of the loop and come out of the sixth line. Or yes, because these are all part of the while loop, it comes out of the while loop. Let me check what will happen now. So it will, you can see in the global frame that I is equal to 1. Next, I will be incremented to 2, 3, 4, 5. After incrementing, before that I am printing and incrementing it. You can see that every time it is going to if condition, because every time it needs to enter into the while loop, but it is going to if condition. See the red line, what it is doing, and coming out of if condition, because if condition is not true. So it is every time printing it. So let me go to 30th value. Okay, now we are coming into it. So now the value is 30. So still 30 is not greater than 30, it is still false. So it will again, so this is the reason how you can see. So I think have you understood it? So if you come to the previous statement, after this I is equal to I plus 1, you can see that I will be incremented to 31 in the global frame, which I am underlying now. So now you see, now I is 31. Now it says that 31 is greater than 30. Yes, it is true. It enters into the fourth line and breaks out. You see, that is the end of the program. So this is a program which is actually feasible. The earlier program is not feasible. The reason is it is continuously executing it and it is never stopping. And this program is a very false program. So this is an infinite loop in while loop, and using for you can do these things. You can use something like I or J or something, and you can say that J is continuously repeating with one value, and every time you can go for print I and I is equal to I plus 1. I think Saurit, you have first asked this question. Have you understood it?
Yes, sir.
So you can use a iter tool. Iter tools should be imported actually like this. Import iter tools. I will tell you what is import and all later on when we finish up with data types. Then you can go through iter tools. And then I have initialized I is equal to 1. And then I said for j in iter tools dot repeat. So I'm repeating continuously. You just remember this statement for infinite loop. Then printing I and I is equal to I plus 1. This is for the infinite loop. So I think this is the doubt you people had earlier. So I have gone through this and I have explained. Right. So today I want to just finalize your marks that you got in your previous examination. I want to show you for anyway, the Google form will be correct. For 10 marks, whatever you have answered will be there in your Google form. I will, anyway, I said that I will add one mark to that, whatever you have done. I'm now trying to finalize the 20 marks point because I have seen that some reports are missing in the original report itself. I don't know why, but I want to ask you if you have a screenshot of your execution. The ID should be matching there, the screenshot. Let's show you these things. Okay. I'll just close up a little. So check out your marks. I think I have checked yesterday. This is a program I have written where I have taken the roll number and your ID from the your form that you have submitted and the report that I had got. That means the marks percentage and your thing. So I have matched these two and my program has automatically given marks for you based on the percentage. So I have taken 100 marks. If you are getting 81 for 100, so for 20 it will be 17. So like that I have given. So I have converted into 20 marks. So the percentage is taken as 100 marks itself. Now just check out what if your percentage is not matching, or because I have checked yesterday, I have seen some of the reports earlier that I have taken had 76 and after that they have corrected and they got 100. So I think for them also I have awarded this time. For the next time, I cannot award beyond the time. And here is 20 present, 20 or 19 because I could not see your report. That's why I had a blank here actually. Some number is missing anyway because that number is not registered and the other number is there. Can anybody come up with your number, either 19 or 20? If you have submitted your thing. Okay, so nobody is climbing here. So these are the other numbers from 21 to 57. You can look into that. Only look for 20 marks because the 10 marks I will anyway modify that. Don't worry about that. So what are your roll numbers? Is it fine? 20. Ah. Okay, fine. You have seen. Okay, fine. Okay, so I am just going on. From 58 to next section 33, you can see your marks. And here also in between, I had a missed number. I don't know whether 20 or 21 here.
Sir,
Some
it's roll number
yeah,
20, sir.
20. Which section? 28.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir, actually, on that day, I was not present in home, sir. So I was
Okay.
unable to.
So you will be getting 0, I think, right?
Sir, the first exam I have given, sir.
Okay. 10 marks you will get anyway, but 20 I am saying it will be 0 because I could not find your report. Okay, fine. Next. Just look into it and tell me if there is any problem here. So from 22 to last, you can see whether it is correct for your roll number or not. From 54, from 28 section 54 roll number, I think you got 0. Your report shows that it is 0% only. Right? No problem here.
Sir, can you just go up?
Yes. What number you
Sir,
want?
2620.
2620. Yeah, that's what missing. That's what I'm asking. 2620.
Sir, but I gave the exam.
Okay. Have you put your screenshot with you? Because
Yes,
I
sir.
could not find it in the original report. My program also did not say that your number is there. So I have manually checked yesterday. I thought whether my program is a false program or what, but it was entirely correct. Everything is correct, including their unique IDs. So I have checked manually in the page where your report is there. I have taken your number, which you have submitted in the Google form. And when I checked, it is saying this number is not there in the report.
Sir, I took a photograph also, sir. I have it.
You can show me now. I will just award the marks. If you can show me, I will stop sharing the screen. Yeah,
Yes,
that's
sir, 1 second.
yeah.
Sir, my roll number is 28004, sir. I got 92%, sir.
Okay,
But it's for showing as a 54%. So,
54%.
yes, sir.
Okay, let me check out what report you
Sir, I
got.
have put a screenshot. I have took a picture,
Your
sir.
desk is
I
almost
shared it
full.
to your WhatsApp number.
Okay. Okay. So your number is IWAN. We'll start, right?
Yes.
So let me check out in the pages which I had. This is what you have submitted. What's
Yes,
your
sir.
number? You said 2620, right?
28, sir. 28004.
Not that one. Something like who has kept the screenshot? Is it 2620 roll number or 28004?
Sir,
Sir, I
I
still
have shared
didn't.
it to your WhatsApp number.
Okay, 28004. Okay, this is your number, right? So
Yes, sir.
copy.
Sir, can I show?
Yeah, wait. I will share the screen. First, I want to show that 28004. Then what report it shows to me. Maybe it might be a old report that I might have downloaded. Later on, have you corrected it, Amma?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's the reason I could not get the original whatever you have corrected.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Let me check out this. So your number, you said something like IWAN. Yeah, it is showing like this, but it is only showing your old report.
Yes, sir.
It was submitted like 2:58. That means 3 o'clock something. So I think due to
Yes,
some
sir.
network disturbance from your side, I think it did not update it. Okay, fine.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
So I'll just correct your number now. What's your number? You said 2800.
28,004, sir.
Okay. 92 should be
Thank you, sir.
okay. Fine. Right. The other number, can you share your screen or will you put it in WhatsApp, Amar?
So I can share my screen.
Okay. You can share the screen. I'll stop sharing. Yeah.
So it's coming disabled.
Yeah, I will enable it. Wait. Yes, I have enabled it.
So can you see?
Alert
Yes,
from
yes, I can.
your disk is almost full.
Okay. Right. I'll award the marks to you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay then. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, that is the reason I got doubt because it was not showing in the original report as I told you earlier.
Yes, sir.
Maybe that's also because of your internet problem, I think. If sometimes your internet is not flexible or it is just doing something in between, the packets will be missing sometimes. Okay then, you got your marks. Right. So I think these marks are finalized for 20 marks for your exam. Okay, right. So the other thing is that I want to ask you about how many people have done these problems. Like today, I'm not starting any new topic. Tomorrow, I will start the new topic because we have 2 periods tomorrow. So tomorrow we will go through a revision of for and while loop a little bit, and then we will go through the list data type and dictionary or sets data type. And we will talk about various functions that are there in that. Okay. So today I want to just show you how many programs you have done. Some programs that we do is standardization of these. So if you go to these Python exercises, I think last time we have gone through this. So by the next lab, I think on Friday, you should be finishing all the 3-week assignments that were given there. That will be a good practice. You can also see that some of your programs that I have given in your examination are coming from these assignments, the interactive assignments. And I ask you to do these 7 programs by this Friday. So I think some of you have done few of these programs last time. How many programs we thought of doing? Last Friday, I think. I have asked you people to do something. I think Saurit has also asked me one problem, something that is second problem. Can anybody tell
Yes,
me?
the second one.
Yeah, how many programs we thought of doing in the last week? Among these? Haven't I said anything? Like these many programs you need to do from this?
No, sir. We only
Most-
talked about the assignments.
Okay. Right. So what you do today is, before we finish up, we have around 20 minutes of time. So start doing this 1 to 7 programs. And if you have any doubt, you just contact me immediately. So for today, I thought of only revising what you understand with the previous classes. And from tomorrow, I will start explaining it about all the other data types that we have. So those people who did not have laptops can just write it on your book or papers, the algorithm, how you can solve it based on what I'm showing now, right? And the people in the Shanmukh sir section who is sitting there in the class can just show to him what is your logic. Saurit, is it solved? I think you got one test case wrong, I think, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I got the same.
So the
test
second
case wrong. Yeah, the same test case wrong with the other section also. One person has raised his, doubt, right, whether the test case is wrong or not. Can you just show it?
Sir, I got the second problem.
Second problem got.
Yes, sir, I got it, sir.
Can you share the screen with that?
Yes, sir. Internet.
I will stop sharing it.
Sir, I'm doing offline, so it'll take 5 minutes.
Sir, he's connecting to internet. Give me 2 minutes of time for him, sir.
Oh, okay, sir. Okay.
Alert from
Okay, he's offline.
your
Right?
disk is almost
Yeah.
full.
So in the meanwhile, can anybody say any other problem that while you are trying to do? I want to discuss it. Yesterday, we have discussed with the other section also few programs who have some doubts regarding this. So what I will do is that I will create a GitHub repository for all of you. So whenever you do the programs, what I ask you to do is you upload your program into the GitHub repository so that they will be on record. So that you can also later on prepare a record very easily by copying them. And also you can store your screenshot of your test cases, whether they are passed or not. So those screenshots should also be included in the record, which I have told you earlier. So this will be very good for you and easy for you to do that. So there are a number of problems. If you can see the branches without functions, branch with functions, no loops, comparing strings. So if we can solve all these problems, I think you will be good at doing any Python program that you will be. Because his basic focus is on the logic. So we try to solve all these problems like how you have solved in your intermediate number of problems in mathematics, I think.
Sir,
Yes.
I have completed the chessboard second question, sir, but when it comes to the third question,
Okay.
I'm getting an error, sir.
Paul,
But
yeah.
actually, when I checked that manually, G1 thing is giving us black, sir, but it's that test case is showing it's white, sir.
Okay. Paul, I'm sharing the screen, or you are sharing the screen?
Should I share, sir, now?
Yeah, you can share now. You can share now. Then I will go to her doubt.
This one, sir.
Yes. Okay. So all your test cases have been done, right?
Yes, it's running. Uh,
No, it's saying that it's false something.
no, sir, wait a second. Yes.
Okay, that's correct. Hmm. Fine. So can you just show me what it is going on? So I have given ABCD, yes, in a list we have taken. Yeah, list concept is compulsory for solving this question anyway. I think that we have discussed earlier. Using for loops, we have discussed the list concept. Like, mhm, I, yeah, fine. So, Saurit, I think this test case is working. I think a small logical change is necessary. Do you agree, Saurit, for that? Hello? Okay, Paul, thank you.
Yes.
Right, I will share the screen. Somebody has asked it out. Who has asked me about something like a third problem, something?
Yes, sir. Third question.
So second you got already, right?
Yes, sir. I got it.
So regarding third, what is that you are getting?
For G1, it actually should show the output as black, sir.
Okay,
But in the test case itself, it had given as white.
okay.
And I am getting that output as black. It's showing error in that field.
Oh, I think this is the test case which is wrong. Did anybody do this one? So on a chessboard, fields are marked with a letter between A and H for the column.
I
And
done that, sir.
yeah, yeah. Can you share your screen number?
Yes, sir. I will show.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, so it is actually giving.
Alert from
So black will be
your
the correct
disk is
answer.
almost full.
But
Yes, sir. Actually, it should be black, but it's given as white, sir.
okay. So actually, after testing, only these questions will be posted. I don't think how it is saying it is like that.
If we check it manually, E1 is given as black, sir. Automatically, alternative of E1, F1 should be white.
Okay.
And after that, G1 should be black again. But
Okay.
it's given as white.
Mm-hmm. So it's even giving like 22 out of 23 marks in the sense that it is thinking that it is completely false and it
Yes.
has been failed. Okay. Yeah, I got the same feedback from the other section also. Anybody has done this problem? Anybody has got the same problem like fail here, like what she's showing? Kavya, are you Kavya or somebody? What's your name?
Yes, sir. Kavya, sir.
Yeah, can you go up to show your program?
Sir.
Okay. So giving input A or C.
Actually, it's not clear. I will show in Visual Studio Codes.
Okay, you can show in that.
Visual Studio. Just 1 second. Yes, sir. This is the code.
Okay. So C, E, G. Okay, you're writing all these things. Okay. Very black. Okay, right. So any of these letters and with any of the numbers 1, 3 should be black. That's what you have written, right?
Yes, sir.
Hmm. I think the other way also you can use it, Kavya. I think anybody can use this logic. Like you fill 2 lists, one with alphabets and the other one with numbers. So A, B, C, D, whatever numbers that are there for your chessboard, up to G, you fill it with list. Okay, and the numbers also you fill it with list. And from this list, I think you can use a for loop and say the alternate of the list. For example, the 0th index, the 2nd index, the 4th index. If these indexes will come, you just say that it is black, like that. Are you getting
Yes,
that?
sir.
What I'm saying?
Yes, sir. I will do that.
Yeah, you can also use the for loop instead of directly. So I say this is a type of brute force method. Brute force method is in the sense we are constantly fixing something. But instead, if you give a list and use the list by implementing a for loop, then also it will be a very good logic. Okay?
Yes, sir. I will try in that.
Yeah, you can try out.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Paul, have you done this program?
No, sir, I'm not done it. I'll do it by tomorrow.
Okay, right. Saurit or anybody who has done this program along with Kavya? Miran, sir? Okay, you also do it. So by next class, we need to discuss about this one. Okay. So any other problem from your side?
Sir, I have a doubt.
Yeah, tell me, Paul.
Can I share my screen?
Yes, you can.
Sir, instead of using else and if I want to use elif, sir, directly.
Okay, you can use it.
But it's not working, sir.
Can you just show it to me?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. One second. What it is saying? Invalid syntax. Remove that brackets actually. Remove those brackets.
This one, sir?
Yeah, remove those brackets. You have kept brackets for and. Okay, fine.
Yes.
Not a problem. You keep them like that.
Oh. Again, it will be changed.
Where it is showing the invalid syntax. Can you move that column a little bit backward? Don't make it forward. Go backspace and just print it again. Indentation is correct. Should be the problem in this. No, there should be no problem. You see the print that is there inside is not getting a correct indentation. You see. Yes, remove it and again you just go back. And else also. Have you saved this program?
Yes, sir, I have saved it.
Do you think that else is also part of that if condition or outside if condition?
No, actually, even I have to change this also to elif.
Okay, Paul, you change it in the meantime. We will discuss tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank
You
you.
just send the program to me. I will just check it out because the other class time is up. So I need to leave now.
Okay, sir, I'll send it.
Okay.
Sir,
Okay, then, bye-bye, everybody.
Sir, I'm closing the session.
Yes, sir. You can leave, sir. Bye.
Thank you, sir.